Hello. Let's discuss how electricity works. To know how electricity works, first we need to know about atoms. Everything in universe, including you, are made up of atoms. Atoms are very tiny. Atoms are building blocks of everything. Since atoms cannot be seen with naked eyes, let's look at a model of an atom here, which is Bohr model. Atoms have three subatomic particles in it, which are electron, proton, and neutron. Protons and neutrons are presented in middle of an atom, which is called as nucleus. Electrons revolve around the nucleus within their orbits, or shells, just like how planets revolve around the sun. Electrons have negative charge. Protons have positive charge. Neutrons have no charge. The electrons within the shells, where in the first shell only 2 electrons can be fit. On the second shell, only 8 electrons can be fit. In the third shell, 18 electrons can be fit, and so on so forth. The number of protons within the nucleus of any atom represents the atomic number and the element. Here the hydrogen atom has only 1 proton in its nucleus, so its atomic number is 1. Also, it can be identified as hydrogen element. The helium atom has 2 protons in its nucleus, so its atomic number is 2, and it is identified as helium element. And also the lithium has 3 protons in its nucleus, so its atomic number is 3. Also, it is identified as lithium element. The copper's atomic number is 29, since you already know now. Also, the most of the time, the atoms have same number of electrons within their shells as same number of the protons. So here, the copper has 29 electrons in its shells as same number of protons in its nucleus. We also need to discuss the concept of valency. The outermost shell of any atom is valence shell, and the electrons with the outermost shell are valence electrons. Here copper's outermost shell is the third shell and has the 1 valence electron within the shell. Now that electron has tendency to move out of its origin atom and join other atoms' shells which are surrounded within its own atom. Since the valence electron of copper can move from one atom to another atom, now here this movement of electron is called electricity, or also can be referred as electric current. Since this electron's movement is happening in copper, copper is a good conductor of electricity. There are also bad conductors of electricity, also called as insulators, such as neon here. Neon's atomic number is 10, which means neon has 10 protons in its nucleus, also 10 electrons in its shells. Neon's outermost shell, or valence shell, has 8 electrons, which means there is no room for any other electrons to join in. If you remember, I said only 8 electrons can be fit in the second shell. In a 1 centimeter length and 4 millimeter in diameter copper conductor or wire, which weighs around 1.125 grams, can contain approximately 10 sextillion 650 quintillion or 1.065 into the 10 to the power of 22 atoms. No wonder they are so tiny. The unlike charges attract, and like charges repel. The battery here on the left side, it has positive ions, which means the number of electrons in its shells of the atoms are less than the number of the protons in their nucleus, can also be referred as holes. And on the right side of the battery, it has free electrons, which are ready to join in atom shells within where there are less number of electrons than protons. Because the atoms always try to maintain the same number of electrons as same number of proton within them. Now all this battery requires is a conductor to pass electrons from negative side to positive side, which we can already see they are passing through a conductor. As we can see here how electrons pass from one atom to another atom within the conductor when connected to a battery. The subatomic particles in the atom also generate the electric fields, and the electrons, protons, and neutrons together generate magnetic field. Which means when electrons pass from atom to atom, they never touch each other, but push themselves by the magnetic fields. The passing of electrons occurs at the speed of almost the light speed. Starting at the negative terminal of the battery, the electrons start to push at the same time. At the positive terminal, there are holes which are atoms ready to gain electrons. This is also called potential difference. The conductor is connected and the passage of electrons happen. When any conductor is not connected to any battery or any power source, the electrons in the conductor still pass from atom to atom, but randomly because they still have tendency to pass. But when connected to any battery or power source, they start to move to a particular direction, which is from lower potential to higher potential, or negative terminal to positive terminal of the battery. And when any load is connected, such as a light bulb, it starts to glow by converting electrical energy into light energy. Hope you got the idea how electricity works. Thank you for watching this video.